San Diego Mayor Tom Gloria is pushing for legislative reform that would force people who are mentally ill to get help. It's our top story here on The 4. I'm Heather Myers.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. Gloria just got back from Sacramento, where he met with other large city mayors on this issue. CBS 8's Shannon Handy joins us live now from downtown with what he had to say today. Shannon.
Well, Carlo and Heather, overall, Mayor Gloria said something needs to change. The current law is more than 5 decades old, and it states that the only way you can force someone to get help is if they pose a danger to themselves or others. And because of this, Gloria says, oftentimes agencies' hands are tied, families' hands are tied, and he hears about this often from his constituents.
Just this past weekend, I met a resident of La Jolla whose adult son suffers from schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. This young man has been in and out of psychiatric facilities. Along the way, he got hooked on opioids, and he's had a number of episodes that have resulted in jail time. He has been referred for a conservatorship, but deemed ineligible, despite being genuinely incapable of taking care of himself.
Gloria says it's an issue law enforcement and first responders deal with daily, saying when you see people here on the streets who are clearly mentally ill, the current law prohibits them from doing anything about it. Senate Bill 43 would broaden the definition of gravely disabled to include someone who can't tend to their own personal protection due to a mental health or substance abuse disorder. He says having legislation like this in place will not only allow law enforcement to step in, but it will help with our homeless crisis as well. But opponents argue this law goes against people's constitutional rights.
This is not about additional bureaucracy. This is about actually being effective and taking care of the problem that all of us see, all of us acknowledge, all of us are frustrated by. 50 years of doing it the wrong way can't continue. We have to try something different. I believe that this will be effective in helping us address the very small part of this population that is severely mentally ill and who deserves something better than the sidewalk.
And Mayor Gloria says similar legislation was close to passing last year, so he's optimistic this legislation will pass this year. He's also pushing for a separate bill that would essentially create a real-time online dashboard detailing available beds in psychiatric and drug treatment facilities. Heather and Carlo?
Shannon, the mayor mentioned how this bill can help the homeless crisis. Is there anything being done right now, though, to address our homeless problem?
He said part of that meeting in Sacramento is to push for more funding, or at least the same amount of funding that the state has given them over the past couple of years. He did say, however, that the state's budget isn't as big as it has been in the past. So there is some concern that they will not give them as much funding to deal with the homeless issue, but he says this is something they are pushing for continuously, and that was one of the things he asked for while in Sacramento with those other mayors. And also, I want to mention, Heather and Carlo, I did reach out to some homeless organizations in San Diego regarding this legislation that the mayor is pushing for. I did just speak with Drew Moser. He's the executive director of the Lucky Duck Foundation. They, of course, deal with finding solutions to the homeless problem, and he says he's in favor of this legislation. He says obviously something needs to change, and this is a humanitarian way of doing it. So he is in favor, as are others, of this legislation. But again, you also have the others who say it's against people's constitutional rights.
Still a huge and growing problem. We know the city of San Diego is spending more money possibly than ever on this problem, but more people are still ending up on the streets. Shannon Handy reporting for us. Thanks, Shannon.